Hello everybody! Welcome to the third game of Lost History. Today we have a new player joining us, Bjorn. Hello!
Hello.
Alright, and his character. We still have no sign of the player for Justicia. We'll try to see what's happening with him, and we'll see where we go from here. In the meantime, Bjorn, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself, your role-playing game experience, and your character before we get started?
Yeah, sure. I started playing role-playing games back when I was 12. That was in, well, 89. So yeah, I'm getting a bit on the older end of things, but I've been playing for about 30 years now. It's well, not quite 30. Yeah, about 30. Yeah. Anyway, played all sorts of games over those years. D&D, Pathfinder, Shadowrun, Legends of Five Rings, and a handful of others. I can't think of all at the top of my head. As far as my character goes, his name is Braddock O'Coyle. He's from Alberia. I think that's the place this is, whatever, where everybody's hanging out at right now. So that was convenient when I accidentally picked the place you guys were. But he is a technician of the with essentially a wood affinity. So right now he's not been able to spend enough of his martial knowledge points to actually have any cool wood techniques, but right now he's just a big guy with a club, or a really big shillelagh is the way he would probably say that it. Great big old wooden club and shield, and he has the background of spending a lot of time in an enchanted forest and just kind of a tuning with it. It was in the Forest of Spirits as one of the guards sent out there, and just gained himself an affinity for the woods.
Do you mean the Forest of Souls?
Souls. Yes. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's
you are correct.
It's one of the forests that I mentioned previously. It's the forest where the trees mature very, very quickly and then die very, very quickly about 70, 90 years after that. So they seem to have very similar lifespans to humans, and so it's believed that each tree born in this forest is associated with the life of a human being elsewhere, and naturally cutting down those trees is absolutely illegal. And
because it's assumed that you're killing the person that they're connected to. So yeah, it's a bad thing, and so the people in this area send guards out there to make sure nobody does that. And he was one of them.
And so far your characters have seen there is some sort of truth to parts of those legends, because you have met in the previous scenario two spirits linked to individual trees, not in the Forest of Souls, but in the forest that you're currently working in. Bjorn is okay. I have a limited number of tokens that are available. I didn't really have a red-haired. This is the closest one I had, and the colors aren't. It's a red cape instead of a green cape. It's is that fine with you?
After how hard I found took to find something even remotely close to what my character was supposed to look like, I can completely empathize. It's fine.
All right, cool. In this case, yeah. Uh,
Oh,
all right.
yeah, and I guess another notable feature of him is that he's quite tall.
Okay. Oh yeah. Does he have any of the natural protuberance? Uh,
Yeah, what I was reading up on that is most of them don't, and
yeah.
he is not an exception to that.
Okay. Cool.
He doesn't have that, but he does have the build that you would associate with it, and that is
Mm,
unusual.
all right.
So I mean, I think if you figured it out, he's like over like I'm pushing 7 feet. So
Okay.
Wow.
Nice. Cool.
7 feet, or that's I got him down as 2.18 meters.
All right. So I am actually going to upscale your token a little bit. Yeah. All right.
Armand's 6'4" if you need like a reference.
Oh,
Uh,
he's 6.
Yeah.
If he's 6'4", that might be about.
Yes.
all right. This is looking good. Okay. So in the previous scenario, we had mentioned that the leader of the archaeological expedition, the sponsor, was finding the security around the expedition lacking, and was going to try to hire more competent people. And Braddock came with strong recommendations. So as your characters are heading back to camp, heading back to the excavation site looking for Lustitia, you are instead going to find that she's still missing. She's still wandered off somewhere. You don't know where, but instead you see this tall, red-haired guard that's been added to the expedition's troop, along with a couple of other people from all seemingly wearing a similar uniform, all seemingly from the same group. And upon seeing this person for the first time, you're going to get a very similar sensation that you're now getting used to. The sensation that you have met this person before, not in this life, but in a previous life, and he used to have very large horns. Braddock, you're going to turn around at some point during your evening activities, and you've just been recruited into this weird archaeological site where people are digging up the past. And you turn around and you see a group of people, three of which have faces that are very, very, you feel like you've seen them before, but you can't remember for the life of you where exactly that was.
I'm huge.
Yeah,
Okay.
not anymore. All
Okay.
right. So we are.
I'd be like, yeah, do I? That's weird. I could swear I knew you.
Right.
But I can't place where.
And a lot. I don't think. Yeah, your character has been introduced to some of the members of the expedition. So real quick, this is Thomas Armand, the sponsor. With the group that's coming towards you is Sophia, the head archaeologist, who you do not have the sensation of having met in a previous life. And Lucent, the painter and the artist who is recording the expedition in his own way. And a person who, this young adult, you're not quite sure what part she has in the expedition, who's with the rest of the group. And yeah, they're coming back to the campsite. Very recently, you've had the local duke come in and declare that the expedition is free to take anything that they want from this place, because he is going to destroy it after the expedition is gone, because he doesn't want to encourage the use of the old ways that were practiced here. He wants to destroy any sign of it.
Okay, in that case, I've got to make a point of preserving any bit of the old ways that I can, because I'm definitely a follower of them.
All right.
So make things very convenient.
So yes, let's take anything that is relevant.
So yeah, currently the expedition, after hearing this, they're basically storing anything that is transportable, but like there's like stone pillars that that will not be able to be moved by the normal man. I don't know about your how much your character can carry, but yeah.
Strength as much as well as legally. I guess maybe an 11 is possible with my race, but yeah, very strong. But I don't think stone pillars are in my.
Not quite yet. All right.
Well, it's 1,300 pounds. If maximum load is 11.
So maybe if I have another strongman helping me.
Do we have any other strongmen? I don't think we do.
Armand is strength 10.
Oh, dang! Well, I forgot.
So we could
muscle
do it.
archer, like actual archer. I forget.
Yeah,
Real archers are buff.
Yeah, he's a buff archer.
I forgot about that.
Actual real archers are quite strong. They have these huge muscles. They're kind of asymmetrical, but yeah.
One are bigger than the other.
Professor Rose just gonna stand and applaud.
Yeah. So, your group comes. Your group arrives. Sophia and Lucent are trying to look for Lustitia, which you had thought might be the key to solving your current crisis, and she's nowhere to be found. And in the meantime, you're sort like they come back towards you saying, "Hey, she's not anywhere. Why are you just staring at this guard? Why is he staring back at you? What's happening here?"
I thought it was an old friend of mine, and then I realized the old person wasn't so tall. Sorry.
Oh.
And then gonna side glance at Armand.
Oh, also.
Okay. Well, also, as I remember, we were in a semi sort of hurry to go and stop Morgana. Okay.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Sir Armand, I may have left some of my tools back in the city from when we were taken to dinner. I'm very sorry. May I, and Armand, may I be excused to go and grab them?
Yes. Jewels? I didn't see you with any jewels.
Tools, like
Tools.
my scribing tools,
Tools.
a blot of expensive ink, and one of my finer quills.
Yes. My hearing's going, that's why. Go ahead. Say pass on my regards to the Duke while you're there.
We will most definitely do so. Thank you.
Braddock.
Yes, sir.
This is the person in charge of recording our expedition's findings. He writes everything down in a book so that we don't forget anything. He's an important part of the expedition. For his security, can you go with him to the local village?
I'd be happy to.
All right. And Yes, and Armand here is our guide, so that we don't get lost in any of the forests we're traveling through. Is also gonna be important for the next few sites that we're going to be visiting. So, thank you for making sure everyone is safe.
Okay.
Off we go.
Alright.
As
So, Sophia is going to ask. I'm going to stick around here and try to find Lusticia, and send her over if I find anything. Lucent, do you want to? What are you gonna do? And like Lucent hesitates. He looks at you. He looks back. He says, I'll come with you." And Willow also mentions, it's dangerous for me to step too far away from my tree. I can't, and if I enter the city, I'm putting myself at risk, but I'll come as far as I can.
I hear tree and my ears perk up.
Yeah.
ha 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 ha.
Like there's a moment of silence.
Oh yeah, there's
Oh.
a guy here.
Yeah. And Willow says, that's natural. That's a natural thing for humans to say, right?
I I cough lightly. Braddock, this is Willow. She's a tree.
She's a tree. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I have often hoped to meet someone of, I believe, your nature.
Well, now you have. Again. Seems you don't remember me either. It's fine. We really have to get going.
Yes, very well.
Okay, so you start heading off towards the village. You're making your way there on the muddy serpentine road that's weaving its way through the forest, and on like halfway between the village and the ruins, you are going to spot beneath the rain that the large clearing that has the graveyard in it. You just keep running past, or are you going to do anything in the graveyard?
We're in a hurry, aren't we?
I don't have any particular reason to do something in a graveyard.
We are in a hurry, but Morgana's tree is.
That's right. Morgana's tree is here, and she is
Oh.
leading that group, but I'm not the kind of person to burn down trees.
No, I wouldn't want to burn it down. I wish we could do something to it that might secure our goals. I don't have anything on me. I don't have any spells that would let me do that, so I think maybe it's best to let it be for now.
All right. So Willow hears you having this discussion as you're like making your way through this path, and you see her smile. She says, I'm also hoping for a peaceful resolution to all of this. All right, you keep going.
Oh
Towards-
yeah, Braddock. You may not know, but there's another tree lady leading a group of forest creatures to negotiate with the Duke. They want his life.
Okay, do we know why?
Because the Duke is trying to kill them.
That's a pretty good reason, actually.
Yeah. The Duke is heavily Christian and really hates the old ways with a passion.
Okay, so how can we help her?
Well, we can prevent the Duke from killing them, for starters.
We could also prevent her from killing the Duke.
Yes, that would also not be good.
Oh,
Both sides seem to be incredibly prone to violence, though. Things could get messy, just a heads up.
All right. So, talking about messy, you are going to arrive in the village, and at first, there's just no one in sight at all. It seems that everyone has either barricaded themselves in their homes or just left. But then you start to hear the strange roaring sound of a crowd, and as you head towards the fort at the center of the village, you are going to see a group of villagers angrily knocking on the front door, trying to get in. At their head, sort of cheering them on, you see Morgana in her totally human appearance, like just riling them up, riling the villagers up, saying things like, he can't hide from us. His faith will not protect him, and things like this. And you are seeing that a few of the guards that are guarding the place look legitimately concerned and are visibly panicking. Like, Braddock, you were hired for security. Those people are in a state of my friends and family are knocking at the door, and I'm supposed to guard the door. So, yeah. So, what do your characters do?
They look like they're gonna buckle if things go south.
It looks like the guards might buckle, yes.
This is the first time I've seen a riot.
Algeria doesn't seem like the place that gets many riots. Armand,
Yes.
is this something you can handle?
I can try to see if my smooth tones can calm things down. If I get lynched, Braddock, you can help me, right?
Not so much about the lynching, but maybe keeping them from doing it.
Good enough.
Right.
I can't, like, unhang somebody, no.
All right.
Not yet.
At least not yet.
Yeah.
By the way, the old lady riling them up, that's the old tree from the graveyard.
Oh, okay. Well,
Just some context for you. I know this may be a lot for your first day on the job, Braddock.
I've always believed in them. I'm not a stupid Christian or anything, but
Well, that's good to hear.
or whatever they.
I think did we say that Iscaridin or Iscaridin, you're Christian, right?
Yes, technically.
Yeah, because you've been raised in the rest of the Empire. So yeah. All right. So as you're making your way towards them, Morgana starts to speak words of power, words that are echoing stronger than the voices of the villagers through the rain, and words that are calling upon a greater power. And you see purple energy starting to gather about her. A few of the villagers just like fall back in a panic, terrified at this. The others just stare in disbelief. And let's see, does she have enough intelligence to do that spell? A castle gate has a presence of... I'm sorry, got it. There's always so many rules to check. Stone wall. No, wait. The metallic door. Yeah. Yeah, that looks about right. I'd say so. Yeah. She waves her hand, and the castle gate just explodes inwards, completely destroyed by her magic, and like the villagers, after a moment of silence, deafened by this thunderclap, roar in like in approval, and just begin storming the place, completely overrunning the guards. And Morgana is like basically she's not so much riding up the crowd anymore as just scaring away the guards, being like, you're protecting someone who's renouncing the old ways, out of our way. And yeah, she's being very efficient. What are your characters doing in response to all of this?
Dulcet tones, dulcet tones.
Well,
Joining the mob!
Look, she just blew up a castle door. I don't think my dulcet tones is going to help.
You just did especially loud dulcet tones.
I am torn between like trying to. I think it's almost to the point that talking her down is.
Sorry.
She's put us all in a situation where we have to make a choice between the existing lord and her, because blowing in that lord's walls is going to be something that he's not good with, or his gate is not something he's going to accept.
Yeah, I hear castle doors or castle gates are expensive.
Yeah, not just expensive, but the nature of the threat against his life for doing so is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll probably try to kill her later. Yeah, good thinking, Braddock. Yeah.
The thing is, he doesn't know that she's a tree woman.
I already told him.
Who?
Oh no, I told Braddock. You talking about the
No,
dude?
the Lord.
No.
Yes, the Lord doesn't know she's a tree woman. He doesn't believe they exist. So, if she leaves, he's safe for a moment, as long as we can prevent the Lord from burning down all the trees in this place.
What do you do?
Well, I am going to find the Lord,
All right.
or try to find the Lord. Try to go in with the mob. I don't know if she's going to try to stop us or not.
She doesn't recognize you.
Iscaridon-
She's not gonna try to stop you.
Iscaridon is going in like with his head low, like following right behind him, like in the space he makes.
Okay.
She probably notices me though. Very good at hiding.
Yeah. I'm gonna need Iscaridon and Armand to both roll for stealth against Morgana's passive notice.
No, I have hide. Fudge.
Aha! But you still open roll.
No, that was me.
That was Armand.
You can't
I got
find
-8.
me.
Alright. Luckily, I don't have an enormous amount of notice.
Do I?
Haha!
Do I see her looking at me?
Oof. Yeah. She is going to notice you in the crowd, and she gives you this this glare.
I'm gonna like look at her and say, down with the new, up with the old, and just kind of keep sneaking by if I can.
Down with the new, up with the old.
Yeah. And then like you see Morgana's gaze just like drifting just a little bit past you, and you turn around to see what she's looking at, and you see that Willow has followed you. She's got gray bags under her eyes, and she's not looking too well, but she is here. And Morgana and Willow sort of have this stare off for a second, and the villagers are going to keep going, basically leaving the two of them behind, and Willow is just stepping forward, saying, "We don't have to do this." Meanwhile, Bjorn, can you roll? What would be the role to try to find? So roll for search. Roll for search in order to find the local duke.
Oh wow, this is going to be super useful. That's better than I expected.
Open rolling again.
Yes, and notice that the big good roll is on a 80, is on an 89.
Yeah. Okay. You know how to open roll in Roll20? Okay. Basically, you gotta go in the chat bar under and you type /R space 1d100 plus 89. What Armand wrote, but without the dot at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. 106. You are going to you're going to spot, like, basically you enter the castle with the rest of the villagers. There's lots of confused shouting. Some of the guards are trying to hold the villagers back. A lot of them are confused as to how the villagers are already here. Basically, it's a messy chaos. But you are going to hear the a nefarious voice giving orders from the banquet hall, and this is where you head, and this is where you find the Duke, his wife, his child, and a few of the loyal guards that are most dedicated to protecting him. In the meantime, Iscaradin and Armand, when you saw Willow and Morgana, did you keep going to find the local lord? Did you stay behind? What did you do?
I stayed behind.
I was gonna say one of us should probably stay behind.
Right.
At least one of us.
Cool. So Armand is staying behind. I'm gonna put your character here. And Iscaradin, are you also?
Yes, he's going to try to find the lord.
Alright, so both of you are off to the banquet hall. Okay. The characters down here. Alright. So, I haven't done that in a while, but I'm gonna try to... I'm going to split the group between the two different maps that we have.
You gotta do it.
Yeah. All right. So in the banquet hall, this is where the Lord is. Your two characters are arriving. All around you is this sort of like angry mob, and you see the Duke yelling this is a good Christian home. You filthy heathens have no won't convince me to change my ways, and he's going to order his guards to protect his life. All right, what do you do? Iscaradin and Bjorn.
Okay. So, they're all behind us. Are they inside this room yet?
Yeah, they're entering the room. They're currently entering the room. Yes.
Is the Lord here? Why is that bear circled?
Because somebody thought it was funny that there was a caged bear here in the previous I think it was Armand who circled it. Anyways,
Okay.
the Duke is current. Basically, most of the other doors have been like barred. It's just the main door they hadn't gotten to because they didn't think that they would need to bar it just yet, and so you got in through there. And so the Duke Karen is right here, and so is his son Sigda. What do you do?
I'm gonna say, go hide. Isn't there somewhere that you still have that you could barricade yourself into? They're here for you.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a persuasion check or intimidation. I feel like it's more persuasion because you're trying to save him, but he doesn't seem to see the danger that he's in. All right. So you get him to consider that for a second. He looks to his son and spouse, has a moment of maybe this isn't such a good idea, and then he turns around, sees his guards being present, and he's going to order, escort us. Come, we're moving to this door, and we'll try to get out through there. And the villagers, the local blacksmith is yelling, "He's trying to get away!" And they're starting to enter this hall. Cutting back to the outside, Armand, you are in the presence of two Hamadryads facing each other in the rain, Willow is trying to prove that there has to be another way, and that Morgana can't do this all on her own. She doesn't have the backing of the other forest spirits. Morgana extends her hand, says, "Oh, but I'm not alone." And you see 3 calf flidace emerging from the nearby trees and starting to move towards you. So it's the lions made out of thorn that look like this. The calf flidace. All right. So Morgana's gonna attack you. So I'm gonna have you roll initiative.
Well, I guess if I understand my dryad lore properly, that you can knock her out here and she'll just reform at her tree.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's
It's not a solution to the long-term problem, but
Actually, no, I was stealthed.
sorry, what?
Right. I was stealthed, remember?
Oh yeah. So you
253.
are seeing all of this from where you were stuffed. We're gonna put you right here.
Oh, and that too on the initiative.
Right. Willow. So that's gonna be the initiative for everybody. Descending. So, don't mind that. But basically, the Catholidaes are called Godric from a previous game where somebody had a familiar. And did everybody roll for initiative, or was it just okay? Scaradin.
Wouldn't Morgana be at 0 due to the negative 100 penalty?
Yeah, she would be. So Morgana is going to be surprisable by her own creatures. Okay.
Why she got that penalty?
Because I rolled a 2.
I
And
see.
Armand, you open rolled.
No. I had hit the button twice to put the token on the turn order.
Gotcha. No worries. Okay. And Bjorn, can you roll? Can you click on your token and roll as well? This way, we've got the initiative for all of the characters on the. Ooh.
That's a big no.
This way we have some initiatives for everyone on the turn order, and I'm gonna have the guards roll as well.
Oh, lovely.
This way we're gonna have 2 fights happening at the same time.
My initiative total comes down to 0 between the weight of my gear and the.
You do have that giant shield, and you roll.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. So you
that
have
big shield drags me down quite a bit on the
You
initiative.
have the same initiative as Morgana, so there is that. Okay, cool. So we're going to have 2 simultaneous fights. We're going to move back and forth between them, and it's gonna be fun. All right. So, Armand, you are going to see Morgana ordering her beasts to attack Willow, saying, "Your peaceful way is going to ruin us all. You're giving me no choice." And as the 3 monsters are running towards her, you hear Willow in the rain saying, "I thought we were friends." And then she's going to conjure a shield in order to try to protect herself. Which shields do I have? Oh yeah, no. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. Then. Ooh, I got some nice defense over here. Armand, is there anything that you try to do to help? Yeah, you're still stealthed right now. Do you do anything?
Yeah, I mutter to myself, Arturus.
Okay. Arturus appears in your hand.
And I make an attack from stealth towards Morgana.
Okay. All right. Crafty days. That's okay. The 3 lines of thorn attack Willow. They do not get past her shield, but you see that her shield is slowly breaking from the onslaught. And ready your bow. You loose the arrow. Morgana is going to passively create a shield in order to defend herself.
I also spent 2 fatigue.
Okay.
Adjustment.
Do I have a... Okay, that is not passive. Yeah, that is an active action, so I can't use this.
And she is surprised.
Yeah.
Hope.
She can still. She did not spot you at all. I'm just checking if she has the ability to passively create. I'm just checking if there's any shields that she could technically she could still cast a shield if it's a passive action in order to try to defend herself. I'm just trying to check which ones she has access to.
No, that's at half projection if she can, right?
That
I'm
is
just making sure I understand the rule right.
That is fair. So that would mean accumulation 60. It's gonna be unlikely, but oh, she can spend 2 fatigues, 2 points of fatigue to bring herself back to 60. Hawthorne, 40 levels of darkness. Oh yeah, I've got the darkness shield. That should work. Okay. Occultation, dissimulation, rage. Obscure armor and obscure shield. Any attack, only supernatural attacks can. Yep. And it only costs 50. Cool. So yeah, she's going to spend 2 points of fatigue raising this shield at the very last moment, in order to protect herself. You see, like, the darkness, the shadows from the entire village and the wall around her just gathering up and attempting to block your arrow, but I am surprised, so I'm gonna take a minus 90 to that. And yep. Okay. Oh, that is quite a good roll. 230% of your weapons damage. Sorry, 220% of your weapons damage. What is the?
I do penetrate 2 ATs.
Oh, okay, cool. I do not have any armor against piercing.
With Arcturus, the damage is base damage is 75.
All right.
So I deal that much damage.
2.2 times 75. That
2.2? Oh.
Yeah, that is going to be 165 points of damage, and I think, and so ends the reign of Morgana. Yeah, I am 50 points in the negative, with a constitution of 7, I believe. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She could only go to negative 35, right? Or was it 10 HP per con?
It's 10 HP per constitution, so she can go into minus 70. But she's also taken like a huge penalty, a huge critical. And Appleby, do I need to make I need to make a second check to stay conscious, right? Or do you just go unconscious as soon as you hit under 0?
It depends on what the system you're using. If you're using she dies at your constitution times 5, then she just goes unconscious.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. She's unconscious. Yeah. So, yeah, you shoot Arcturus, flies through the air, gets stuck in her throat, and she crumples to the ground, unconscious. Alright. Willow spent her turn raising a shield and is just still trying to defend herself. Iscaradin, it is your turn now. What do you do?
Okay. Have they escaped and made it into that room?
No, they've moved to the door and they're trying to remove the protections they put, the pieces of wood that they put to try to stop people coming in to get out. On their initiative, they will make an attempt to destroy their way out of there.
Braddock, unless you have anything else you know of that you can do right now, would you mind setting up these tables to protect us while he tries to break inside? Make a barricade?
Well,
Could you do that? You seem to have really big arms.
Okay. I am trying to grasp what you're trying to...
He wants to protect the Duke.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we're on the technically the same side on this here. My intention was to beat some sense in the Duke.
Their intention might be to kill the Duke.
Pushing them. Now, that beating sense into him, not like literally, but by trying to get him to back down on this and make him understand the nature and gravity of the situation. I am, if anybody's attacking, I'm not sure which side of the fighting I want to be on.
Is this you? Are you? Is Braddock saying this to me?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not sure which side of this I want to be on. Yes.
Listen, I'm with you that we need to change his mind, but if they kill him for the old ways, that might inspire a chain of events that will bring this entire principality into harm's way. We just need to convince him. We don't need the crowd to hurt him.
Okay, so I am going to actively try to dissuade fighting then.
Okay.
That
Like that.
includes walking into the path of any weapon that I think I could soak.
Okay.
All right.
I believe that will be helpful as well.
Okay. So under Iscaridin's suggestion, do you set up barricades?
I will try to keep a barrier between everybody, and barricades sound like an excellent idea of making that happen.
All right.
So
you rush over towards where the Lord and his guards are, and and the guards are raising their weapons to defend against you. But then you turn around at the table, flip the table, and are able to like slow down the charge of the people who are coming in. So Iscaridin, I'm gonna need you to make a leadership test. And Braddock, a feat of strength test.
okay.
Did you give me a roll?
Yeah, leadership.
Gosh darn it. I'm not a leader.
Yeah, but you are giving instructions to Bjorn. Okay, you're not giving it.
That's without the minus 30.
That's without the minus 30. Okay, you're stumbling your words, trying to get him to do his thing. He understands. He barely understands what you mean, but he still goes ahead and flips the table pretty well, spitting the leftovers from today's dinner all over the floor. All right. Okay. So so the guards are pointing their spears at both of you, saying, "Move away!" And on the other side, the crowd does not seem very intimidated. So I'm gonna need you to roll if you want to avoid getting into an actual fight. I'm going to need you to roll some social rolls for both sides.
Okay.
All right. So Iscaridin, what do you do?
As Carradine is facing the Duke and his men, and he says, "I'm from the expedition. I'm unarmed. I'm just here to help."
Okay. Go ahead and roll persuasion. On the other side, Bjorn.
Yes.
Oh, nice open roll. So yeah, you are going to get second open roll. Okay.
If only that were like on me saying, "Please don't destroy the ruins.
Yeah.
Please just don't kill me before I can ask you about the ruins."
You're getting him on your side. Absolutely. And Bjorn, you have a mob of angry villager on the other side. You can hear that Iscaridin is doing a good job of persuading the Duke not to murder you. But the villagers seem angry that you're, that the tables have turned. And that you're not apparently on their side anymore.
Right. Should I make a persuasion then to try to talk them down?
You can do that, or you can just make them realize how much of a danger they are putting themselves in, and roll intimidation instead. It's basically up to how your character approaches talking down some villagers.
I would prefer to persuade rather than intimidate if I can do so. So I am going to talk to them about how yes, he's a jerk that needs to be educated in the repercussions of his actions, but killing him or anybody else is only going to make things worse. Please give us some time to sort this out. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, the forest lady said he's going to murder them. We're only trying to protect the spirits of the forest. All right, make your persuasion check.
Yeah, not so awesome.
All right. Yeah, it is not sufficient, and the villagers are going to attempt to charge on their turn, which is right around now, actually. So,
I'll be right there,
yeah.
soaking the brunt of that,
Okay.
if I can.
So this is going to count as mass combat. I'm going to split my attacks between you and the guards, and yeah, and I'm assuming Iscaridin is not taking part in the defense. So yeah, go ahead and make a defense roll. And since it's a mass of people, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the mass thing works,
Yeah.
does any of their weapons have a base damage of higher than 45?
No.
Then I don't need to.
Oh, okay. So, but yeah,
I've got a barrier of 45.
All right.
Nice.
So yeah, you basically like the few of them that managed to get their weapons past your shield. The weapons, their pitchforks and knives, just bounce off of your skin, doing absolutely no harm. And the attack against the guards was a bit lower, but the guards are not super good at. Oh wait, no, it's mass combat. So they have 70, meaning they take 50%, meaning they're going to take 20 points of damage. Okay, cool. Yeah, the guards are getting wounded just by the sheer amount of pitchforks and angry torches being thrown at them. And next on the initiative is Morgana. Morgana is very busy being dead, so new initiative. Alright. So everybody select your token again and roll your initiative again.
Hey, this time I didn't roll a 1.
Thanks.
I never expect to win. I'm not beat to win these things, but you know, not tank them is nice.
Alright. Initiative. Just added a new one instead. And Willow.
Yeah, the barrier thing is the technique I like to think of as calling the arc skin.
I do not know what you're referring to, but
Key ability damage. Yeah.
Oh. no, but the what the arc skin is supposed
Bark
to.
skin.
Oh, bark skin. Nice. Yeah, that fits in with your character pretty well. All right. Okay. So the calf flidace are once again going to be the first ones to act. Two of them see that you hurt their that you just killed their leader. They're not necessarily the most comprehensive creatures, so they are two of them are going to charge Armand right away and try to kill you. So I'm gonna need you to make 2 defense rolls, and you are not surprised. All right. And second roll is done at a penalty of at a minus 30 penalty that you already took care of. Do you have any armor against piercing?
Yes, I have 2 thrust ATs.
All right. In this case, you are perfectly fine. You are put on
the defensive.
the defensive by the second attack, and basically, like as they charge you, both of them are going to have their bodies like split into this like mass of thorns that tries to grab you, and they try to wrap around you like a living vine. But they are just unable to get you. Oh wait, no. Oh, I can ignore your armor and still try to immobilize you with the one that succeeded. Blah blah blah. Alright. Oh, cool. Yeah. So go ahead and make a strength check against my against the strength of 12. So basically your armor protected you against damage, but you might still be immobilized. Oh no, you're good, you escaped from it, no problem. And Willow is going to have she's either going to take damage or have her shield broken this turn. Depending on who rolls highest. And ooh, she is going to take some damage. All right, that is going to be a 40%. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you see, all right. Yeah, you basically see the thorns of the last creature getting past Willow's shield, wrapping themselves around her legs and leaving like bloody marks behind. Of course, she's bleeding sap instead of blood, but it still looks very painful. And she's put on the defensive. Iscaradin, it is your turn. What do you do? I think you're muted.
Sorry, I heard one moment while I remember exactly which innate
Also, I forgot one thing. Armand, the first attack that you defended against, you could have counterattacked, even because you are within
That's
range.
right.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Obviously, I mutter Arcturus to get my arrow back.
Okay. You mutter Arcturus. Go ahead and make.
And there's no counter bonus. No, not enough. Only 8.
No. There's not gonna be any counter bonus. No.
But it is point blank.
Okay. Yeah. So that is going to. Did you get the bonus for being point blank?
Yep. Already had it all included.
What is my armor against piercing? I've got 2 points of armor against piercing, so
I ignore 2 points. So.
In this case, you would do 10% of your weapon's damage. All right.
7.5.
Yeah, you are going to deal 7 points of damage to one of the creatures.
On the upside, it's a critical. Boom.
Yeah, on the upside it is a critical, but on the downside, I'm pretty sure I can pass that. Yeah, I can pass that automatically. So
Yeah, I
I'm
figured.
good.
I'm just
yeah, it's still good to know. All right, Iscaradin, what do you do?
Okay. I do not have How are they doing on that door?
Oh yeah. Let's see. 120. should be the difficulty. Okay. They have broken the door, and they're ready to have the Duke flee. You have a choice. You can you can let the Duke go first and make sure he is safe, but put yourself at risk, or push the Duke aside, make sure you're safe, and that it's up to you. After all, you are one of the wizards that he hates and has sworn to murder with his entire religion. So.
He may have done that, but there is another side to this religion, one that preaches peace and kindness to your neighbors, if they're not supernatural beings. So I'm going to let him go.
All right, he is not a supernatural being, so you are going to put yourself at risk and go, which means one of the two attacks done by the crowd is going to be aimed at you. Do you have any way of defending yourself?
Not without some very obvious spell casting.
So, Bjorn, do you hold on?
I have a fatigue point.
Yeah, Bjorn, you do not have enough initiative for Braddock to defend Iscaradin. Even though you have a big shield that could help you out with that. So Iscaradin is gonna be mostly up to you whether you want to take the brunt of the attack or just defend yourself.
I'm going to just defend myself with a point of fatigue.
Oh, so like dodging?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe in you.
I do believe
Not bad.
As a mass, I gave them 100. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
so
that's not deadly.
Yeah, that's 50%, and their base weapons are doing like 40 points of damage. So you're going to take 20 points of damage, but you are shoved aside. And you get a pitchfork to the shoulder, but like it's completely misses your vital signs, and it's like it's grazed you basically. It doesn't like pierce the bones and muscle, but like you're out of the way. All right.
There goes my bonus.
You mean what the leadership bonus he was supposed to give you?
No, there goes my bonus for keeping him safe.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was his writing hand too.
It was just a really bad paper cut. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't talking in game terms. That was like in character.
All right, Armand, you're on the defensive. The guards and the villagers. Okay. Braddock. Your shield. Your shield is good enough that you could basically just replace the broken door. And just hold the villagers there. Do you want to do that? Slightly better. One of the villagers recognizes the emblem you're wearing and says, "You're one of the warriors from the Forest of Souls. I recognize your emblem. You protect our lands and you protect our traditions. Why are you why aren't you on our side? Why are you helping this this traitor to the crown who's worshipping an idol we don't even believe in anymore?"
Yeah, he's the problem we have here.
Mm-hmm.
As I am going to move in a position to block it as I speak with them. Is like, yes, it's a good thing you brought that up. I am concerned with protecting the forest and protecting our lands, but as I was saying earlier, there are repercussions to every action we take. I fully intend to make sure that that lady is protected, but what do you think will happen to everyone here, not just the spirit, or not just our spirit of the forest, if we kill this man? Do you think that there's not going to be any repercussions? We are going to be
so like the tavern keeper, she says, yeah, it's there's gonna be repercussions. We're already storming the castle. At this point, we might as well finish the job, or else the Duke is gonna be really mighty pissed at us. Roll for defense. Oh yeah, no, you don't really care, but I still need you to pass this check to avoid anybody getting past you.
okay. I can roll my defense. It's fine. Let's see here. I am trying to figure out where that is.
Oh. Okay, so under your stats, so you go into character sheet. Under your stats, you have movement, and under that you have attack and block. You just need to click on the. Oh, you got it. No, you. Sorry. You just need to click on the dice button that is under block.
Yeah, I just done it. Oh, it popped up a little thing. How much fatigue? Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, you are letting people past you. A lot of people. Like your skin might be invulnerable, but you slip on a greasy piece of pork from the table you'd turned earlier, fall to the ground, and the villagers storm past you. I am going to give you an opportunity to roll one more persuasion before they run off on you. But yeah.
I am rolling awesome today.
You've had a lot of open rolls and a lot of fails, and I feel like this is going to be a fun campaign with you. The villagers do not heed your warnings, and they continue out of the hall. All right. And I believe it is time for a new initiative.
I think I have not rolled over 20 for initiative.
Okay. Willow's almost. Oh wait, did I do Willow's turn? No, she was put on defensive. Let me close that one. Okay, and the guards.
Just a moment, I gotta get her have a drink.
All right. So sending. It's once again the Catholics are acting first. So I'm gonna need you to roll 2 defenses against my trapping maneuvers, please, Armand.
Defense number 1.
Ooh. I do not hurt you, but I have a good chance of immobilizing you. And okay, roll. It's going to be dexterity or strength. No, agility or strength, I believe, in order to avoid being.
Yep.
Right. It's 15 because I rolled poorly.
No, doesn't it just dead zone?
Oh, sorry, 12.
Doesn't the attack dead zone because it's under like 20? Or were we doing like the core exit math?
We're doing the core exit things here, and yeah, this just 11 difference. So I do take a -3, so which means my roll was actually a 12. It's unlikely. Yeah, you pass, no problem. Okay, so yeah, you are put on the defensive by the technically the first one, but I'm going to let you counterattack the second one instead.
Alright, I guess I'll continue open rolling that.
Yeah,
dot.
continue that open roll, and let's find out. Okay.
Plus 15.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna get a +15, and I am dodging. Okay, 60%, and you ignore the 2 points of armor that I have. That is going to be 45. Okay, that is going to hurt. Okay. Physical resistance. Okay, I have a -7 to all of my actions, but I'm gonna recover from that pretty quickly. And right. And last of all is Willow getting hit again. So 20%. It is going to be another -6. So her shield is holding up, and she's only taking like small amounts of damage at the time. But you are basically seeing this Hawthorn creature just like becoming a mass of thorn that managed to get past her shield, and then reforming into the shape of a lion periodically. You've been put on the defensive. It is, and so has Willow. It is now the guards' turn. Setting themselves up defensively in the corridor. They're basically pointing their spears at the villagers and yelling, "Stop! Not one more step!" And the villagers are coming straight for you. So they are putting themselves on a sort of defensive posture, ready to counterattack. Iscaradin, you are kind of next to the guards. You are seeing that the villagers are charging. Their blood will be shed now if you don't do something. What do you do?
So they've escaped the door?
Yeah, they've escaped. The Duke, his family, the guards have escaped through the door. They're in the corridor. The Duke has his men basically slow down the villagers. The villagers are charging the guards. The guards are pointing their spears. There's about to be bloodshed. What do you do?
I'm going to. Wait. Ooh, I have something and it's gonna be stupid. This is a dumb idea. I don't like this idea. Oh, no.
You started smiling and your voice sounded happy, so I'm pretty sure that you're lying when you say you don't like this idea.
No, I don't like this idea. I'm going to begin accumulating for real. I'm going to, against the wall, start chanting. And I'm going to cast Flash of Light between the guards and the people.
Alright. I don't think it's necessarily going to be visible where that's coming from, but I'm going to need you to roll for stealth to not be noticed chanting.
That's without the minus 30, so 38.
Okay. Sigdal, the Duke's son, is staring at you with his mouth wide open, and
Don't look! Don't look! Don't look!
and then he like the flash of light just completely blinds him.
Oh no!
But, so he's going to notice you, and okay, so I roll physical magical resistance to avoid being
Physical
blinded.
resistance.
Physical resistance. Okay, let's do this.
Blinded?
Okay, that's going to be everyone. Everyone present is like the guards and the villagers are all blinded. There's like screams, confusion, bumping into walls a lot. A few of the guards drop their weapons and surrender on the spot.
I'm going to, as I can, if I can still move, I'm going to try to run to the front. There's a bunch of people in my way, but I'll try to get there.
Where are you headed?
But to the point, like, to the guards. But,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
with the intent of heading off the people.
Oh, like basically making them go into another direction?
Well, my intent is to go in and, like, find the Duke, but also, like, put myself in a position... Wait a minute. Okay, he's in this corridor. No,
Yeah.
I have an idea. I'm just going to follow the Duke.
Okay,
Follow
cool.
the Duke.
Yeah. You follow the Duke. You turn a corner and find the Duke. Is there no more guards? Just him, his wife, and his kid sit down, and he has his sword drawn, pointed at you, and says, "Witchcraft! I saw you mumbling those words just before that bright flash of light. You might have come here with a saint, but you're not fooling me."
He's going to reach into his cloak and pull out his Bible that he always has.
Okay.
And he's going to say, I understand you're afraid, and you have every right to be, but you need to survive this for yourself and your family, and for the people of Alberia. Whatever happens to me, we need to talk, and this needs to stop.
Right. Roll persuasion, and you get a plus 30 because you have your Bible. Okay.
Yes.
The Duke is going to stand down. He has a moment where he's like basically he's raising his sword, and then his son Sigdal says, "Wait! He's one of the good ones," and that's going to make him reconsider. After that, the villagers are still coming in, but like they're much less organized. They're like a lot of them are going to be blinded for entire minutes. Which means that basically, like, the Duke is able to flee from this situation thanks to you, and you're not immediately executed for the witchcraft that saved his life. All right, Bjorn, Braddock, Braddock, please roll a physical resistance check, please.
Oh, because I'm rushing up behind him, and
Yeah. You might get blinded as well.
I was wondering if I was going to get caught in the blast of that. Okay, pulling up character sheet.
It's going to be right next to the stats.
Yeah.
This way, next to the stats. Okay. So I think you also failed because you rolled lower than I did. What was the difficulty, Sam?
For 140.
Okay. How long is he blinded if he rolled 102?
38 turns.
38 turns. All right. Well, you're blinded longer than the guards and the villagers.
Let's die.
As I was rushing up behind the villagers.
Yeah. Bright flash of light straight into your eyes.
I didn't like that idea, but I had no other ideas.
Hey, it worked. It worked.
I'll keep trying to move forward, pushing past people,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it'll be blindly.
Don't step on anyone.
You know who would have been great in this situation? The saint who's already blind and who doesn't take penalty and who only takes half penalties for fighting blind. Actually, like your flash of light spell is gonna be so useful to her.
It is. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Darn it! I wish she was here already.
Yep.
You're gonna even the playing field for her.
Yeah. Now everybody's blind. Screw you guys.
Exactly. Okay. So Morgana is still unconscious. New initiative.
Initiative. Oh shoot! I always do that. Wow! I still get really
Oh,
low.
whoops.
That's Willow's initiative, right?
No.
My token wasn't.
Oh no.
Oh, I basically like I took off the initiatives of Iscaradin and Branag because your like your side of the fight has been resolved. You've successfully saved the Duke. You can still roll for initiative. So Bjorn, it's gonna be hard for your character to get back into the fight, but Iscaradin has a chance once he's like secured the Duke to get back here and help out. So maybe like in 1 or 2 turns, I'm gonna have Iscaradin roll initiative and
Yeah.
appear here.
Well, what I'm going to just do is just keep talking sense to the people who are blinded with me since I have nothing better to do. But yeah, that doesn't need to happen in the initiative order.
Yeah.
We're all blind in this corridor.
Yeah.
We might as well talk it out.
All right.
I'll give the historical context and.
Okay. And Armand, oh wait.
I am surprised. Yeah.
Oh, you're surprised! Woohoo! Okay. So you are going to take a huge minus 90 penalty for both of these attacks.
I had another spell. I could have blinded everyone, or I could have used Imbue Calm.
Oh yeah, imbue calm.
I chose.
Oh my god, I am so sorry, Armand. You're definitely getting trapped in this turn.
Probably.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your first defense.
I'll spend 1 fatigue
Okay.
on my first defense.
All right. Trapping
Oh, hi.
maneuvers.
That's still a -3 on his part.
Yeah, still a -3 on my part. And I do half damage, which means it's 30%. Half. It's 10% of my damage, which means you take 3 points of damage. And roll 1d10. Right, so that is with the -3. Yeah. Still not immobilized. Still only took. Wow, I open rolled and I only dealt you 3 points of damage. Cool. And your second defense, where you have a -30 because it's your second defense, and a -90 because you're also surprised by this other creature. Ooh. Oh, that is beautiful.
That one's probably gonna hurt.
Yeah. Okay. So. So it's going to be blah blah blah. 220%, 2.2 times 30. It's going to be 33 points of damage.
I try half damage.
Oh,
That's not that bad.
yeah. And also, I am definitely. I do not get any penalty for. I'm actually going to give myself a +3 for trapping you with this one. Plus 15 in total. So go ahead and roll your strength. Your strength or agility. And
Okay.
you are finally trapped, but it's only minor trapping. Trapping maneuvers are so hard to pull off in this game. But yeah, basically, finally get some thorns wrapped around your arm that are like pulling you back. And last one. I love how this side of the fight is basically just me killing you slowly.
I could always escape.
That's fair. And Willow is okay. Willow's shield is broken, but she was not put on the defensive this turn. And give me 1 second. She is yeah, with tears on her face. She says, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this." Her flames appear on her hands, and she is going to set fire. And she's going to project a fireball, not on a fireball that the Lion of Thorn easily dodges, but it's going to hit Morgana's body and start to incinerate it. And you hear this supernatural scream coming out of Morgana's body as it gets destroyed. Armand, if you want, you can roll occult to know what this means, but otherwise, the three cat fleas seeing the fire are going to start to retreat in fear and just run away. Oh, yeah, you don't know. You don't even have the skill. You're not supposed to be able to roll, but on top of that, you rolled a 3.
You said the roll?
Yeah. All right, and the rains of Alberia start to pour again, and slowly but surely put out the fires that have been started in the castle, and put out the fire that has destroyed Morgana's body, and a resolution seems to have come over this place. What do you do now?
Am I not being like manhandled?
No, all three creatures have fled from the sight of flames.
I walk on over to Willow.
She's not dead, but she'll never be able to reform her body now that her body's been burnt.
Oh, I see. Is your leg all right?
I'll survive. If I get back to the roots of my tree, I'll regenerate there. I've got to get back. This isn't a place for a creature like me. It's too far away from my tree. Thank you.
He nods. I'm gonna go and help the others with the Duke situation. Hopefully they've stabilized it. Don't worry, friends. My dulcet tones are on their way.
Do you think we did the right thing? Morgana, this entire time, when she sent those soldiers to burn my tree, I understood what she's been feeling like towards humans since her tree got burnt.
Only time will tell if we made the right choice. We can only do the best we can for the moment.
I have to head back to the forest. She moves over to the burnt body, gathers up a few of the ashes, and carries them with her to the forest.
And I make my way to the castle.
All right. You make your way to the castle. Find
Blind people.
the Duke has somehow escaped through a secret passage. He is nowhere to be found, and the villagers, slowly regaining their sights, are declaring themselves the proprietor of the castle at the moment, which means that pretty quickly the local blacksmith is saying, "Oh, dibs on the wine reserve!" And there's a rush towards the wine cellar of the Dukes, and like you hear the blacksmith saying, "Hey, it's not looting if we were the ones who harvested all of that grape."
No, it's still looting.
They're not listening to you.
He's like, I start looking for Braddock and Scaradon.
All right, you find Braddock taking more time than the others to regain his sight, but in the corridors, and Iscaradin is also going to be found in the corridors. I don't think you'd have like left the castle grounds with the Duke Iscaradin. Like, you just made sure they made it to the secret passage, and then
He would have liked to try to convince the Lord
Okay.
to not destroy the tree. Just at least a brief one. Give me a penalty.
I think right now it's not on his list of priorities. He's trying to survive, and you like go ahead and make your persuasion check. But I think
He's gonna say.
yeah.
He's just gonna say, if you intend to return and retake control of this thing of your township, you must understand that this area is sacred to people, and yes, it is not a part of our religion. I agree. I'm with you, but using violence to squash what is sacred to them will encourage them to use violence against us. We want to use the goodness, the knowledge, the reason behind our faith.
All right. Roll persuade.
At least there be consequences.
Those are wise words, and I will heed them, but I shan't return. And he turns around, never to be seen again.
Oh, I shall return. Oh,
Yeah. No,
We'll see
he's
about that. I wonder if he's good at leaving tracks.
all right. So your group reunites in the corridors of the castle. There is a moderate amount of looting going on. Mostly pieces of armor being picked up by the smith.
I wish some of this would fit me.
nope.
Some jewels being redistributed to the farmers who've been accumulating wealth for the Duke, and overall, there's a lot of merriment. The guards are a few of the guards are trying to stop the looting, and most of the guards are now taking part in it as well. So chaos is ensuing, but controlled chaos. No one is burning the entire castle to the ground. In fact, the rains are like coming down any fire that had been started previously. What do your characters do?
Where's the Duke?
The Duke is fled. For what he told me, he won't be back. I tried to talk to him about his actions, and he seemed receptive, but he didn't. He didn't seem
he
interested.
won't be
in coming
back?
Yeah, shallant even.
That sounds like a recension of his title.
Yes, I suppose.
Resignation to his title.
You have the Queen's order, right, Scaradin? Should we institutionalize a new leader for the village?
That is.
Well, we were only given permission to do whatever means necessary to stop them, and we've stopped them. I think there is another person in line for the throne that sort of suits our cause, doesn't it?
Yeah, his son Sigdal, who he took with him.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I don't think we are the people fit to institute the next leader. I'm sure he had advisors and staff that know what to do in the situation. Surely they do. Surely.
This isn't the first. This isn't the first lord who's had a revolt and ran away from his people. It won't be the last. They have on the national level.
Usually, a neighboring lord barges in and resolves the situation in a dutiful manner.
So, any deaths?
Kind of.
So I was worried about who. One of the revolters?
Morgana.
Morgana.
Like,
But
you and Body dead. Her tree is still there, or so I've been told.
okay, I was going to say surely nobody actually ran to her tree in this short period of time, so she'll be all right.
Well, I guess. She won't be meddling anytime soon.
Well, no, it does take them quite a bit of time to recover their forms.
Yeah. So what I would like to do is go over to the tree and put a little sign up that says, hey, this tree's sacred. Please respect it or whatever.
Okay. So the one that's in the graveyard?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
We should probably be heading back that way.
Yeah. So we're now entering in the next few days as things wrap up for this first adventure. So yeah, you make sure that the villagers are aware of this, and in fact, a few of the townsfolk are going to actively come here regularly and
care for it.
Yeah, care for it. Bring some offerings, which had until that point being forbidden by the local duke. And Iskaradin, you are aware that a dryad whose body has been burnt can still technically cast spells from her tree, but none of the villages are incinerated or destroyed by the tree when they bring offerings.
Cool.
You do see a small spark of energy when you get near, but
hi, Morgana.
but that's about it.
I'm like several a good distance away.
yeah, like you're you're not coming near. Willow's tree is also starts to become a place where. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
I I was just gonna say, if I see this working, I'll sort of like ask Willow what she thinks, and if she's like cool with the idea, we'll be like, yeah, this tree is also sacred, by the way.
Willow is gonna say, yes, it's going to be nice to have people coming over again. It's been... I've missed having humans around.
And then I point to my traps. I guess you don't want these anymore?
Keep this one. Just in case.
Yeah, like, he'll rearrange the trap so she can manually trigger it.
Yeah.
A tripwire, then.
Yeah. Perfect.
So, this is over the course of the next few days. Was anything else specifically going to happen, or can I ask for something gamey?
Yeah, absolutely. Just give me like one thing to let you know a little bit more about the different characters. So Thomas is informed of the entire situation, and being the person that he usually is just going to say, "Oh, peasant revolt happens all the time," and just completely dismisses anything supernatural that had to do with the entire situation as being, there was a firework. That's what made a big flash that blinded people. Sophia and Lucent are going to both be a little bit more interested in you. They're giving you some space after the intense events that have happened recently, but they will let you know that you can come to them and talk with them if more supernatural things happen. The Duke, true to his word, does not return, and Willow sort of de facto becomes the sort of like most prominent figure to interact between the spirits and the human world. Peace seems to have returned in this section of the forest. Still, she is going to ask that you keep the lake's power secret just for a little bit longer. Might not be the best time to reveal those things. Word of the insurrection is not going to be linked in any way to the supernatural, meaning that Iscaradin, you have technically fulfilled your duties of making sure the supernatural does not look bad in your reports. What are you going to be writing about the events?
What am I going to be writing about the events?
Yes.
Well, my events are my records are extremely academic in nature. I will write all about the things that we have found, their state, what we think they might be alluding to, what interesting rituals and allusions to Lilith's way of life.
Liliums.
The Liams, yeah. And about the events of the town, I will write just some passing notes. Just this happened in the town nearby.
Yeah,
There was a peasant revolt.
it's in the margins.
Yes.
It had to do with the religious dispute.
Yeah. But everything turned out fine, and there were no deaths, and everyone seems happier now.
All right.
Okay. That said,
yeah.
Sorry,
The gamey thing, you wanted to know how many days you got to learn new spells?
I was gonna say, so Willow, you're really busy now, but I don't suppose you have any time to teach me those spells.
Yeah, she has time to teach you some spells. She is going to count as a
Don't give me a master. I will learn everything right now.
not necessarily a master, but like she knows the spells you want to learn.
Okay. How long would you say I get with her?
You're gonna get 2 days worth. You're staying 3 days, but she's gonna be busy the rest of the time.
Okay, so this is my learning level right there.
I'll let you piece
go
together.
ahead.
Just like write down in chat which spells you've learned.
In addition, I will also say that I do just really quickly write another missive to the Queen saying that things have been resolved. It seems like a positive outcome. Everybody, like the Lord has lived, but he has resigned his position as a Lord, and I'm very sorry if that makes a lot of courtly issues in the future.
Like you finish writing the letter and you feel this weight come off of your shoulders, and you feel yourself full of relief.
Release like just goes outside of his cart, like I can smell the flowers again.
But yeah, no, this the weight that hadn't come off of your shoulders since Armand had noticed it is now gone.
Okay, I'll start writing down what spells I like. Tell me.
All right, Armand, what are you going to do during those 2 free days?
Well, do I still get the feeling of being watched?
Not really, no.
Okay. Yeah, I got nothing else to do but practice my archery, I guess.
All right. Okay. One day, the last day, as you're practicing your archery in the woods, Willow comes out of the ground next to you and hi. I have a spell that allows me to communicate with creatures. I used it to talk to Morgana. She wanted me to tell you something.
Like a vengeance promise, is it?
No, she's not ever coming out of her tree, but well, she's had a bit of time to think about things, and she says that her actions were pushed by someone. There was someone who was trying to get you and the Saint and Iscaradin and Braddock killed. Someone who came to her. It looked like a forest spirit, but not one. But not one that either of us have ever seen before. She was a tall lady, made completely out of wood, and she convinced Morgana to start acting against the expedition. Morgana wanted to let you know, so that you don't judge her as much, and so that you're aware there's someone out there who seems to want you all dead.
So it was it the expedition or us four specific?
You four specifically, but by aiming Morgana at the expedition in general, she seemed to be trying to reach the goal of hurting you. The only detail that I have is that Morgana said her name was Fortinbras.
Say that one more time. Fortinbras?
Fortinbras.
Fort Timbers?
That sounds awfully familiar.
It does, doesn't it?
That's worrisome. Yes. Thank you for that information. I don't know what to make you of it, but I'm sure it'll come in handy eventually.
Alright. Yeah. Willow is gonna give you a small hug. Thank you for your help, and then disappear back into the ground. And as she leaves you alone with your thoughts, you are going to have a flashback just for you.
Ooh.
Lonely flashback.
Okay. So you remember the evening after you saw the birth of Willow, and after you were given the first of your 13 arrows. You made your way back. You were given like an enchanted tent, bigger on the inside, pretty luxurious for you and your sister to reside in. And as soon as you were alone, Fortinbras displayed her anger by just shattering a vase full of flowers with her magic. They're insulting us.
Oh, how so?
Oh, please. They gave you an arrow coated in metal. They know that the message is pretty clear. They could just as easily have made it out of iron and turn it against us. They're just... They're not taking it seriously. They're not taking my presence here seriously. They're just trying to show me how you can live peacefully with humans. You can't. They're all wrong. I just hope I can convince them in time.
I'm trying to readjust my mindset as a racist dark elf creature. How is... Would flashback me have bad memories with humans?
Not necessarily. You don't really know where this is coming from with Fortinbras. You know that she's been really, really worried lately, and that she's gotten this diplomatic mission started here so that she could warn people. But you don't know why.
Something's on your mind, sis. What's been bothering you?
The Shajets, they've granted me a vision of the future, one that we have to prevent at all costs. I've seen a world where there's barely any of us remaining, barely any elves remaining. I've seen a world where humans are the dominant race, where they've somehow gained the upper hand, murdered us all. They're going to murder us all if we don't stop them. That's why that's why we're here. I have to prevent a future where our empire has crumbled to ash, and all that we've worked for was for nothing. That's why I'm going to try to convince the king of the elves to stop protecting them. We have to exterminate them before they exterminate us.
How accurate is this vision?
The shot? I don't know.
Right.
If they've showed me the future, it's probably because there has to be a way to stop it. But well, they've never lied before.
Well, you have my support, sister.
I know I do. Don't let their... she looks at the arrow that you were gifted and she says, don't let their gifts fool you. The elves don't like us. They never have. And their utopist idea of a society fools them to the dangers that humans pose. They have them in their midst, learning their mystical arts. They are fools, and for giving you such a powerful weapon, they are even more fools than I thought. But we have to make them see reason, at least in that. And that's gonna be the end of this flashback. And you return to the present. You return to the world that your sister predicted, where humans are the majority of the population. And Bjorn, what is Brannock going to do for the 3 days that you get?
I am. Well, he's essentially going to be working on his techniques. He would be. I'm not sure how fast. I mean, everything would be going. That his current rate of learning, his stuff is like one a day,
Okay.
and so I'd be putting 3 days down onto my next key technique. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that absolutely.
That is
makes
not
sense.
enough to get done, but that would be what he would be working on. Aside from definitely trying to make some friendship with Willow, with the idea that he would definitely like to be able to make a pact with her at some point, but he's just not there yet.
Nice. Yeah, you are going to have the more time you spend with Willow, the more you're going to remember that you did come here in this place a long time ago, and there's something strange about your memories. You basically the key techniques that you're currently learning have been passed down for generations, but in your memories you were the person who created those key techniques. So like you're starting to like remember some more and more things about your past the more you hang out with Willow and Iscaradin and Armand. But we'll get into more details of this as the story continues to unfold. Because of those memories, you are going to get a rate of learning that is one rank higher than it normally would be. On top of that, you are immediately congratulated by Mr. Armand on your fantastic work. There have been no prankster sneaking into the camp and leaving behind pieces of ore or food like they did with the previous security. So you are obviously doing a great job at security. You're hired for the rest of the expedition.
Okay, if I get one higher rate of learning, then that definitely is going to result in a new technique.
All right.
Actually, that would result in 2. It's 1 an hour rather than 1 a day.
Yep, that's good. Remember, you have to sleep sometimes, but
I was thinking maybe just working on it 10 hours a day. That's reasonable. The rest of the time he'd be spending, doing his actual duties in the camp and and talking with people and getting to know everybody. If that's all right.
Sounds good.
So that's 3 days. Then
It's going to
Do
be
you like
30...
practice in secrecy?
Then in that case, would he be that if that's 3 days, that's 30 martial knowledge. I could learn the seal of wood with that.
All right, sounds good.
If that's the case, could he make the pact?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to reread on that real quick. Also,
The
Armand...
question is she only wood? Is the question.
Oh, I can
I
check.
think she would be 5 minor wood based on her level and what she is, but
I gotta check this. It's at the end of the thing. Armand was asking you a question, Fo.
yeah.
Do you train in like secrecy?
Do I train in secrecy?
Yeah, or do you just like publicly just sit down and start meditating or whatever?
He has no issues with hiding what he is around here.
Okay.
I mean, he would definitely be out in the woods. So
All right.
he's not going to be like in front of everybody. He would probably be training out by Willow's tree.
Yeah. Hamadryads are wood 3, metal 2, according to.
They're wood 3, metal 2.
Yeah.
Then he could not because he couldn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the metal. Yeah, he only have enough time to do one of this seal types.
With wood 4, you would be able to summon a Blatodia, which is great for fighting mages and the likes. And with wood 2, you could summon the planticles, that are some of the local tree spirits that I showed in the previous game session. these things,
Yeah.
the medium laborum.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If it was all wood for her, I would have gone that route.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think I got to focus on other things first because I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no problem. That sounds good.
I'm going to pick up the just a couple quick ones here. That's Presence Extrude. Actually, I'm just going to pick up Use of Key.
Okay. All right.
So I can actually make techniques now.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
have a technique, but at least I can use them now.
Iscaridin, you're learning
Or
some.
key control, not use of key. I already had use of key. It's key control is the one I was trying to.
Oh, cool. Yeah. You need key control for the seals, anyways.
I was wondering about that. So yeah,
What? I didn't hear it.
I changed that from the previous campaign because it makes more sense, and because I wanted in the previous campaign the Valkyrie to be able to summon all the other Valkyries.
I thought we were talking about the Seals of the Dragon. Never mind.
Oh,
But that's still
no.
exciting. I was like, wow!
Seal-
Oh, man!
No. Yeah.
I do have a question real quick.
Yes.
For learning, I would technically be learning the spells she taught me.
Mm-hmm.
Would I learn her free access? Do you want to choose those, or can I choose my free access?
Yeah, choose your free access. It's fine.
Okay.
Music does make sense with the Hamadryad. Let's see. The specifics of a Willow Hamadryad. Knowledge might be in one of them.
I already got knowledge from.
Oh
like,
you already do.
Well, like, I mean the free access spells. The subpath specifically. He stopped and was like, "Let's go to another path," and then he went off on his own and learned to tie them to these things in his own time.
All right. Okay. Yeah, no problem with that. And
He also learned some meta magic that I did not list. It was very quick to learn, though, very basic stuff.
Okay, which one is it?
A couple of them, they're all like the lower tier ones, though. Exploitation of natural energy, both spheres.
Okay.
Combined magic. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to use that.
Ooh, wait. Combined magic, is it the one that allows you to cast in combination with somebody else?
Yes.
Aha, that's nice. Well, we're gonna say Willow has this one too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
and
Cast magic together.
Yeah, together
and,
magic.
Actually, that's great.
I may
because
be
we can use her
wanting to.
projection.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm likely to summon her, so you may be able to work together fairly often.
Oh, if you summon a mage, that would work really well. Because
No, I'm literally planning on coming back and making a pact with her as soon as I got the martial knowledge spent
that's so
for it.
good.
Nice.
Okay.
So
I also-
then you could work together often. Anyway.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but I also got one more point, one more sphere of determined magic projection, so I can shoot kind of okay now.
Nice.
That's assuming she's willing to. Like, I can't. I'm not going to try to force her.
yeah.
The thing is that like you like every time she's going to get summoned, she's immediately going to start dying from being away from her tree. But the key summons are so short that it's not actually going to like be too dangerous for her.
Yeah, no, I looked into that. It's like I think that she can spend a few days before she actually is in real trouble.
Yeah. It's just like not all of them have tried it out to the point where they know they can survive a few days without it. Yeah. Anyways, as the expedition is preparing to set off, your characters meet again after doing going about your respective trainings. Armand seems a little bit concerned, but yeah, the three of you find yourselves packing up all of the equipment as you're leaving this campsite, leaving behind a lot of the artifacts that you had originally thought you were going to take with you, but in fact, since it's now considered a sacred place, Thomas Armand has had to reconsider taking everything he could that wasn't latched to the ground with him.
That actually gives me something I need to do. Is that okay?
Yep.
He's gonna go to Willow, and he's gonna hold out the nudist and say, "Who would it be appropriate to give this to?"
She looks at it. She says, "Well, those were meant for Lilium priests."
I think that some of our number might be interested in the practice and the religion. And
You used to be the wielder of Asclepius.
yes, what?
Huh?
The greatest Lilium priest that's ever existed was that's who Asclepius was made for. You should keep this.
Okay. Thank you. He'll like have it, and I'll look at it and say, "I was what?" But now I have this thing. Let's see, just one more time in this grove before we leave. Yeah, activate the senses.
All right. So yeah, you do activate this power for the first time at last. So yeah. By the way, everybody is getting 10 experience points for closing out the first scenario. Oh, by the way, like everybody should always be at around the same level because nobody's got penalties on their experience points. But like just making sure.
I've been keeping up.
You.
I assume that this 10 is going to happen in the middle, and then we'll get more later, or should we add it all at the end?
You're gonna get more later. I just wanted to like give you all these before I forgot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you activate the nudus power. It's the one that gives you the magical senses, right?
I believe it was the animal one.
Yeah, the animal.
Yeah, I was using the animal senses,
Okay, cool.
not the magic.
All right. Boon of the animal, difficulty 12. You passed. So after 3 combat turns, 9 seconds, you get this like this intense rush of smells and tastes that like assail your mind as you become immediately aware of all of the different plants that are present here, the sense of every animal that's been here recently before the rain washed their smell away, and for the next minute you get 140 notice and search and a perception of 10.
Nice.
Everything is so clear now. I can smell the ferns. I can also smell the animals.
Sorry
And
about not
us.
taking a bath.
Ooh, I can feel the ants. Oh, I can feel everything's so damp and unpleasant. I'm going to go into the cart now.
You see Willow casting a communication spell with a squirrel nearby that immediately farts.
No, I can smell it. I can hear it. I can hear every part of it. I'm out of here.
All right. Safe travels. Goodbye.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope to be in contact with you again soon.
I hope you'll be back soon. All right.
Wait a
If I
minute.
ever become
Can you
free-
read?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I've had time to learn to read. Yes.
Excellent. I can send you letters. This is great. Okay.
All right. Please do. Okay. So world map. You are going to start moving to the next location. So far, you had been
I'm huge again.
yeah, you're always huge when I paste you. So far, you've been mostly in the forest of Klanda, and currently you are moving west. Northwest. No snapping. You are heading from here to the small town of Faulan. This place is known for a strange collection of stones that seem they're basically like a huge circle of stones around the local villages. There's a few villages that are inside of this place, and the stones used to be considered sacred, and they're basically like every 20 feet there's like this tall stone that's been planted into the ground, and that's what you're going to be that's what the expedition is going to be studying next, before moving on to the tomb of King Dullahan.
Dulahan.
Yep. And after that tomb, you should be done with Alberia. At least for like the expedition should be done gathering up everything that it's come here to get. So you only have 2 more sites to explore in this time. So, yeah. As your characters are traveling, it's going to take some time. I'm gonna say 2 weeks for you to move from one spot to the next. While you're traveling, you can like rest while during the day while the wagons are moving, and practice your supernatural arts in the evening. A little bit more discreetly, because there's still a lot of non-believers of the supernatural in the expedition with you. And are you all going to do anything other than that while you're traveling? Armand, do you talk about your visions of the past with the others? You all.
I would like to ask if I noticed Braddock's training.
It mostly looks like me sitting in the trees and communing, and then regular weapons training, which is like what everybody that is a guard would expect to do. So I don't think I'm one of the weirder one, or one of the more blatant ones.
I know that Iskander like tries to focus on it for the first 2 days, and he gets a headache, and he's just sort of stuck right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually out of
No, you're out of learning
magic levels.
Magic levels. Got it.
Yes. So not much for him to do right now. So he's just going to take a lot of walks and try to figure it out.
So, you say it's 14 days, and I guess we're not going to be able to get full raids, so you're like half raiding or whatever? Or...
Yeah, seems good to me.
Okay. Yeah, he wouldn't be developing any new techniques, but he would definitely be working on his R extension.
Okay.
But he wouldn't be there yet.
I was hoping you teach me some key, because I don't have any.
Did you have martial knowledge to learn?
I have martial knowledge. He just never came across it in his life, so he had no reason to learn anything.
Armand, you're starting to like get some flashes of knowing that like there was the species of the Daimas who were very good at using ki, and that you did learn a little bit of it. You did learn some of it in your past life.
So I can start training.
Yeah, you can start training after.
I suppose that he could start training the use of ki, if that was what you were looking to learn, if you've got the 40 martial knowledge to learn it.
I have 80 martial knowledge of it currently.
Okay, so you got 80, so your learning rate would be...
pretty slow.
Pretty slow. I guess I would qualify as a teacher for it, but yeah, that would get you 1 martial knowledge a week, and at that rate, you'll learn it in about
40 weeks.
40 weeks.
All right. You can.
So you're not getting very far with it.
Yeah. Hey, within a year, you'll know most of it.
There you go. If I level up, I'll have 100 then. Okay.
Yeah, and then
At
it should go
that
fast.
point, you could actually make some decent progress.
Alright. I'm gonna call for a short break here, and then we're gonna restart this again. I'm stopping the recording now.
You are.
And we're back. Okay, so your characters finally reach Faulan. At this point, you are used to being drenched in water, drenched in rainwater all the time. I mean, for two of you, it's normal. It's what you've always known. But for Iscaradin, you've had cold after cold, getting used to this wet land, and finally, you make it to your second destination, which is this large frontier made out of stones. The expedition is going to stop specifically in front of one of the more peculiar stones that is shaped like the head of an animal. So as you arrive, the different people who are part of the expedition get to work, get started on observing this place, setting up camp, assuring security. Armand, you've done an amazing job bringing everybody here through the wilderness, and now your time for more of a break has come. Yeah, all your characters should be a little bit more to scale. So the Lucent starts to make sketches of the big creature's head. Sophia is starting to look around with the other archaeologist, and Thomas is immediately trying to consider how hard it would be to move this gigantic statue back to his museum.
Good luck with that.
I will talk to him, and I'll talk to him, and I'll consider. Well, we need a slightly larger crew and maybe some specialized equipment. But I have ideas for how we could do it if I could with my science.
We'll consider it, but before we start moving it, we have to understand what its purpose was. Probably something to do with, I don't know, worship of animals. What do you think, Sophia? Sophia is like, it's way too early to say.
I'm gonna heal if that's okay.
Yeah, you heal for 2 weeks worth of damage and regenerate Zion for this amount as well.
Something else.
Mhm.
I was gonna say something else. He's frequently taken to meditating with the amulet, the nudist, just because he has lots of fun with that. So he's gonna go over here and do that while he's walking around.
Okay. Alright, so roll willpower to try to activate it. 15. It's a success. Alright, so you activate the animal powers again?
Yep, animal powers.
Okay, so you get 140 in search and notice, which is good because it's a good time to be looking around for clues on what this place is. What is everybody else doing? Armand?
Well, now that his character has walked alone, I was going to approach him
Okay.
and be all whisper wispy. Hey,
I heard you approaching.
right. So, a while back, I had another flashback on my own.
Huh? I haven't felt anything since we left that place. I admit, I had the small hope that everything was cool now.
But before that, I had some troubling news from Willow.
Oh. Oh?
Apparently, a lady named Fortin Bras, the tree spirit made of wood, approached Morgana and agitated her into dealing with the expedition, and specifically the four of us.
The four of us?
Specifically pointed out me, you, Braddock, and Lusticia.
Braddock is a part of this too.
Right? I was surprised.
Well, we hadn't had like such a vision, but I did feel like he was very familiar. Okay.
When he's alone, I'll also warn him of coming danger. But
Yeah.
Well, that's very mysterious. The Fortune Bras from our visions was not a tree spirit.
no,
And
not.
could it just be a? That doesn't seem like a. This man. I hope there aren't any listening that are going to be upset with me. But that doesn't seem like the name that a dryad would take.
No, probably not. But let's not jump to conclusions. It
Yes.
could be a ploy just to throw us off.
It's true, and the trip has been remarkably peaceful, and I am enjoying it. I look into the trees. It's like there's a pile of deer dung right over there, and I'm downwind. Let's move this way.
You get used to it.
Okay.
What is Braddock doing?
He's just really looking at this thing and trying to figure out if he's heard about it, if he's learned anything about it in the past. What does he know?
So you can first roll search to see if you notice anything, and then you're going to get a history check that can be modified by your search results. Okay, now you're not finding anything other than it's big and it's the head of a thing. But yeah, roll for history. I do know you're good in. Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
he
you're
is
good.
good at history.
Yeah, you're pretty
he
good at
better than me?
history. So you
Yes.
you are going to remember some specific aspects. This is like the kind of the home region for you. So this is the statue of an ancient divinity that,
Only one. Sorry.
that used to be worshipped around here. It was an old spirit of the hunt and the wild called Asagiri.
Okay. So I can say, hey, so this is clearly a statue of Asagiri. Just from my knowledge of our culture.
Oh. So like a couple of the archaeologists are going to like nod and say, "Oh yeah, I recognize like the shape of the head," and a few of the other ones are like, "Wow, this guard is really good at our job."
Asagiri. Can I know the
You can roll a cult.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
is this like related to a certain? Oh wow, not fumble though.
Not a fumble. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you rolled a 4. Is this related to what? Is this related to one of the monsters in the core rulebook? Is that what you're?
Yeah, is this a beast or is this like a god by the name of Asagiri?
It's a god by the name of Asagiri, but you've heard of things called Asagiri that aren't gods, but that are spirits of the hunt as well.
That's very big. What was the god like? Can I know that?
You, yeah. So not necessarily with your occult check, but basically the with Braddock's history check. Braddock, you'd be able to know it was a sort of like this like god of the relationship between animals and humans. Things like this. So like kind of a wild, an embodiment of the wild, which meant that like it wasn't the sort of goddess that was concerned with laws and fairness and justice and things like this, and more with the hunt and retribution, punishment, and just very primal laws and like very primal rules. Yep, that's what you know. You're all starting to like vaguely remember having been here in the past. All three of you. It's starting to come together that after Fortinbras came back from the capital where she was going to meet with the king of the elves, you all stopped here. There was an attempt to show Fortinbras what it was like that some people who had previously been at war with the elves and who were now allied to them were like. And this is the place where you stopped in order to demonstrate this to her. But that's all that you're remembering for now. Yeah, what do you do?
Does it look like it was here first? Is it like sticking out of the ground? Do I have some sort of... What is it made of?
It's made out of stone.
Okay.
It's local stone mostly. So like it's not very, it hasn't been dragged for miles and miles.
Just by looking at the picture, if I'm far enough away and I whisper a spell, my detect mineral spell, could I try to detect the minerals of the stone and see if it like extends into the ground some significant ways?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that passively.
All right. So it doesn't extend into the ground very deep. It's not. It's mostly the head and the neck. You are detecting that the exact same material is 20 meters north and 20 meters south. Then 20 meters again. Are like the other pillars that seem to be made out of the same material. Nothing particularly supernatural about this stone, but yeah, I am gonna need you to roll magic appraisal, and
I'll do so.
Yeah, and is anybody other than Braddock looking around?
I'll probably also be looking around afterwards, but does my arrow react in any way during travels or in this area?
No, your arrow is not doing anything
Alright.
that stands out to you.
So I'll search around the perimeter as I do on.
Alright, roll for search. Iscaradin, you feel a vague sense of magic coming from the statue and from the other stone pillars around here. Armand, you look around. You are going to spot a few like traces of runes carved into the statue, and similarly like on the other stone pillars that have been washed away by the rain and time. But you do detect some like traces that once somebody had carved something in there. It's going to need like the archaeologists to do their thing in order to piece together what was written in which language and things like this. But you are the first to notice this aspect.
I just holler, there's traces of runes here. Been washed away.
All right. So Sophia comes over, starts looking into it, and says, yes, very, very well spotted, Mr. Gray." And like they're gonna.
Please, Armand is fine.
They're gonna start like basically trying to decipher what is marking based off of time and what was like part of the original rune, and try to like piece together in which language it would have been, which of the Ailish dialects it would have been, and stuff like this. You are going to notice another aspect. Basically, it seems like whatever was written, there was one side on the west of the pillar and the statue, and another side on the east. Basically, like as if the writing there was two pieces of writing, one facing each direction. Right. So,
Naturally, I point this out to the archaeologists so they can start deciphering it.
Yeah.
Can I hear that with my animal hearing?
Yes. You are within range. You do hear Armand pointing this out.
I'm gonna be trying to like go around the pillars and see if I can see any writing on them. Sort of like walking around them, like trying to get a perspective of the angle with which they line up with each other. You said they're like 20 meters in every direction, so that's kind of precise.
It's 20 meters. Like every 20 meters is a new pillar, and it circles around 3 villages. Right. So like the villages aren't within sight of you right now. It's a large area that's being covered. So it's gonna take a while for like all of the pillars to be examined and stuff like this.
So that's still a lot of material to move and make like this. So I would like to peruse those, if I may. Then make a search check.
Yep, go ahead.
Even though I'm just gonna roll because I have a flat new number. But minus 30 because I'm still blind.
Okay.
Hey, I got the same thing as Armand.
Okay, my bad. See,
You see what he saw.
Wait. Can I rescind that and do something extra real quick?
yep, go ahead.
As I'm walking up to it, I have the music subpath. I will innately cast tempo at base level, which gives me plus 40. No, that's only for sounds. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's only for sound-related perceptions.
Yes.
I wish I could have given you a bonus there, but no.
It's okay.
You're basically putting everything together, looking at those writings, and you are going to notice like some different runes on each pillar. But basically, it's from what you're gathering, every pillar has the same text. One pointing towards the outside of the stone circle and one pointing towards the inside of the stone circle. And it's the same text repeated over and over. It's just that different stone pillars have different parts that are erased. You are piecing together that the magic of those pillars has to do with a curse, and that the activation of the curse is done by violence.
Oh. Well, I'll like idly like walk my way back and says, I know this isn't like just lean over to Armand and says, I know this isn't really your deal, but we're gonna be very peaceful while we're here. And he's just gonna like show him a little bit of his notes about it, like I don't know if they're active or anything, but certainly don't want to find out.
So you show your notes in Latin to Armand, who does not read Latin.
Nope. I can speak it, but I can't read it.
Well,
I go, I look at the book. I look at him. I can't read this.
Well, there's the words on the pillars relate to some sort of curse, and the curse is inspired or activated, or maybe it causes violence. So we're all going to be peaceful over here, as peaceful as we can.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Sounds good. And in that sense, maybe I don't want to bug you, but maybe we should refrain from hunting while we're here.
If it makes you feel better.
As he hides his squirrel.
And he like puts away his skinning daggers.
Right.
Obviously,
do you warn Braddock as well?
he will wander over to Braddock. Braddock seems more in the central area, so he's like looking through it, and he's talking a bit more openly, I suppose, and saying that, oh, these are what the pillars are saying over there. I think this is the translation. It sounds like we should all be, on our best behavior. And he looks at Braddock, and his eyes get a little more serious, and then he looks around again. It's fine.
And you have Thomas Armans being like, ha ha ha! You're
ha.
very funny, taking ancient words written on stone generations ago seriously. Ha! Very funny, Mr. Rowe. Very funny.
Yeah, well,
That's
in this
why they
case,
hired
always
me.
good, wise words to live by. We should always abstain from violence whenever necessary.
I suppose this is true. I'm not much of a violent person.
Then he looks meaningfully at the pillars and is like, "Okay."
All right.
I suppose we'll have to wait on those the inscriptions on the neck, but it's still a question as to what the circles are for, unless they're warnings. You said they surround a village?
They surround 3 villages, but so Sophia is the one who answers you. She says it might have been that it was surrounding something else in the past. That there might be something else inside of the circle. Just these days, it's just those 3 villages and the nearby forest, and that's it. What do you think? This is too large a space to be a ritual space, at least in the traditional way for like a ritual where you would have to move around a lot, and it's too much effort for. It's not a wall.
It almost sounds like a hunting range.
Huh.
That is sort of what I was considering, but
like a frontier.
though it seems like we do have our god of the hunt right over there, and that sort of inspires such a thing. But why would it speak of a curse that comes from violence if it were supposed to encourage hunting animals? Unless it's specifically violence against other people, which would be a really interesting idea.
Well, I guess
hunting isn't really violent. Part of the natural order of things. You have your predator and your prey.
Well, violence is part of the natural order, and I'm not saying that it's bad to hunt. I'm just saying that
I don't think I don't think the goddess of the hunt would be opposed to a type of. It would be opposed to some types of violence, but not the ones that come from hunting. We'll get more details as we translate it. Do you think all of the stone pillars say the same thing?
I've been walking down the range a little bit, and so far they all seem to have the same scriptures, but I can only get bits and pieces from each one. Some of them line up, some of them are erased.
Right.
It's sort of how I've gotten as much as I have walking down the line there. We should probably continue walking to make sure I haven't missed anything, though.
Let's calm your horses. We're going to inspect the as much as we can of this statue. Dig around here, see if we find anything else before we move to the other stone palace. We might as well contact the local villages and see if they know anything about the area, what's inside of it, things like this. And since I would prefer to follow the advice on the pillars, so maybe we should abstain from hunting. We might want to know if it's possible to buy crops from the local villages. I'm
It'd be worthwhile talking to them if they have any taboos against it as well.
Good point.
You know, as Ezra says, a slight other idea. Maybe it's like a reserve, a place for animals to be safe and repopulate, so that everybody can hunt. But that would be odd if now there's a village inside of it.
Well,
Anyways,
times change.
I'm saying.
In fact, as you say reserve, you are going to get a flashback.
Yeah.
Alright.
Group flashback?
Yeah, group flashback. So, inside of this place, there used to be a single village. A long time ago.
Ooh, mushroom.
Yeah. So, let me change the music a little bit.
This doesn't look like a human village to me.
No, that's because it was not even close. So you, in your memory, the diplomatic expedition. I'm not gonna say whether it worked or not, because that will be something for a later flashback. But you are here now. You are here in the domain of Asagiri, the goddess of the hunt, and this portion of land has been given to her and her children. The Asagiri and basically the children of Asagiri are called the Asagiri, and they're spirits that can sometimes possess humans. And there's there's like other species that live here. Most of them are look like humans in appearance, but you do see a couple of animal traits on a few of them as you're walking by. You're here for just a couple of things. First of all, to show Fortune Brass that that's a species that was at war with the elves is now just living peacefully with them. And also, you're delivering a weapon. One of the 13 weapons that was forged. You're carrying it with you to... okay, just got to check my notes for that person's name. Right. So... basically, like, the village looks like this. This is going to be the town square. Mostly populated, basically, people are just looking at you from afar. A few of them have bows and arrows. Hunting equipment. You don't see any guards at all. You don't see anybody who would you don't see anybody with like weapons or armor that aren't designed for just hunting in general. Okay. Just 1 second. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So, Rain, you are also visiting your cousin, the person who is at the person who is in charge of this community is a dark elf. It's her name is Jed Adelheid. This I can't show you this image yet. I'll show it a bit later down the line. She's your cousin, and since she is technically a queen, she's the one referred to in the on the stone pillar prophecy. I'm gonna show it again for Bjorn, who joined us a little bit more recently. This is a stone pillar that you uncovered in the previous ruins that had a prophecy on it that seemed to mention a few key historical figures, things like this, and so basically, after the prophecy said that Queen Adelheid shall have ruin, and then later she cannot win, the artifact makers decided to give this a positive spin and made a weapon called Ruin for your cousin and Fortune Brass's cousin. You're not being greeted at all. Just people are going about their daily business and not really minding all of you. You make your way to the town hall right here, where you're greeted by your cousin, welcomes you with open arms and says, "Welcome. I've been I was hoping you'd come here since you were in the land of Sylvania." And she's going to hug. Jed is going to hug Fortinbras, who doesn't return the hug back. And then Jed comes towards you, Rain.
Yeah, he returns the hug.
All right.
It's good to see you, cousin.
All right. So, Branag, you are present here. Back in the day, you had another name. I'm gonna add it to your character sheet now. Right. You are a giant. You have been recruited to basically ensure the safety of everyone involved with this expedition. Your stats are basically the same in the flashbacks as they are in the present. And Morlias is also present. You're invited inside by Jed, who says, "Be careful not to cause any violence around here. We have very strict magically enforced rules. You can't cause any violence. If you do, anybody who's from the outside of the frontier will have their mind subjected to the will of Asagiri, and anybody who is born within will have their body subjected to the weakness of silver. So this keeps violence from coming from the outside to us, and for us to attack the elves who have silver weapons mostly." So, what can I do for you? So, which of you would be carrying Ruin?
Probably me, if I'm a little sturdier than Fortune Brass.
All right. Good. It's good that you are carrying it. Ever since you've picked it up, you've had a streak of bad luck. Shitty things have been happening to you ever since you've been the one holding this weapon. It's a two-handed longsword, and it looked almost pristine and silver when you got it, but it already looks like rusted and old by the time you've brought it here. you're not sure the mystical enchantments on this weapon are working very properly.
Yeah, they had me bring this for you, but honestly, I think it's a piece of junk.
It's exactly what I asked for. Thank you. She picks it up, and like starts to make movements with it. Yeah, and she says, "Did they get the bad luck enchantments on it correctly?"
Oh, so that was that.
It's part of the things I asked for.
Why would you ask for that?
Yes, I like you can see Jed. She's wearing like very heavy armor and stuff like this, and she says, "I wanted to make sure that if ill fate was going to happen to people around me, it would all be directed towards me instead, because I'm much sturdier than the people that I protect. As a queen, I thought it would be fitting, and also." I got it. I asked them to enchant it with the voice of Lysandra, whose tears made it. And like, she breathes in, and she's going to let out this piercing shriek that is basically going to like destroy one of the walls of this place completely with a sonic blast. And like. After that, Jed turns back to you, happily moves her mouth, and no sound is coming out of her mouth at all.
I can't hear you.
You can hear your own voice and you can hear other people. It's just it seems to have spent all of her voice doing that.
Well, cousin, you've sure picked up an odd object. I'm not going to question your decisions, but I'm glad to be rid of it.
Right. And yeah. And she's gonna say, and you're she doesn't say anything, but basically she's going to like point to your quiver where there's a new arrow there. You got your second arrow. Since they're prototypes for the other weapons, you are going to get a new one very soon. Anyways, that is basically the end of this flashback. We return to the present. Okay.
Was more Elias with them the entire time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were both with them the entire time. Like, I'm gonna try to make the flashbacks a bit more like immersive and where you have more decisions to make as the campaign goes on. It's just that like for now, I'm just trying to like set up some pieces that reflect the present more than anything else. So yeah, you at different moments of like going through those ruins, you're going to remember this, and you're going to remember the purpose of the pillars. And yeah, you remember all of you were there, though you had pointier ears or longer horns.
As Karen kind of looks at Armand and says, "Oh,
Well,
there we go. It's starting again." Leans over and looks at our dang it, Braddock. Like, see if he can catch his eye.
And who is actually coming over towards them at this point?
Inside jokes, everyone.
well then, at least we know what these pillars did back then.
So you saw that too?
Welcome to the club, Braddock. It's our secret insiders club.
Well, wait, you said we know what these pillars do? What do they do?
Remember the Jenna,
Ward against violence.
the wards against violence. If you're from outside, you get possessed by a spirit of Azagiri. And if you're born on the inside, gain the curse of silver.
Alright, so if we commit violence with humans, then we will be assaulted by an Asagir. I was assuming this still works, obviously.
Assuming they still work, which is greatly up for debate.
These
these-
are really old, but I wouldn't put it past them still working.
Alright, so got a little bit of a hint. Now we need to figure out how to convey that.
Oh wait, was he like Braddock like super huge in the past?
Yeah, he is pretty tall right now, but as a giant, he was even taller.
A bit bigger and had horns.
You sure look different in the past.
How did we look? Could you tell which is which? Just sort of stands next to Armand.
I don't know.
More
Can I
Elias. Well, more Elias for if you haven't looked too closely at my pictures, Carradine has like this weird birthmark that sort of covers a good part of his face. More Elias has a burn mark that covers that and more. So that is a pretty obvious sign.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know what we can do with this information right now, except for be on our best behavior.
It's
And-
exactly like the previous scenario. All right, we figured out exactly what those ruins are for. Now, how do we convey it to the archaeologists?
Yes. I wonder if we could find anything by searching in those villages as they are today.
Yeah, let's learn about their local lore.
Okay. I will
that's a
make
good-
a casual suggestion to the expedition head.
Okay.
If nothing else, it'd be worthwhile knowing what the local culture thinks about these pillars and ruins. It would be worth putting into your notes about the site.
Yes.
Yeah, also to get a good feel about the village, I wouldn't want a repeat of what happened last time.
No, I'm very much hoping that this will be a docile mystery, and that there aren't any mischievous dryads.
Oh,
I'm gonna go and talk to Sophia.
That there
Okay,
isn't a peasant revolt fomenting.
right.
Armand, you do not feel watched this time around.
Yet.
Yet. You all, Ro, is Carradine. Which person did you mean when you said the head of the expedition? Because you could mean Thomas, Armand, or Sophia.
I meant Sophia,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm going to approach her, and I'm not going to say like we want to go. I
Yeah.
was just going to say, I think that a great deal of the meaning behind these ruins probably comes from what the village in the center was like. Or whatever was in the center was like. And
Oh.
it might do us very good to dispatch some to look over what remains there.
I agree. We're, I think those of us who follow the scientific procedure are going to stay here and find as much as we can, but I get the feeling you're able to detect more subtle hints. So,
Well,
I can make.
I was going.
Hmm?
I was just going to suggest Armand. I mean, I must be here for record keeping, unless you specifically think I would do better keeping whatever records Armand finds.
I do actually need to go into town to buy some things. And I happen to be free.
If you happen to find other things like you did last time with your friend Willow, that could get us a lot of answers much faster.
I'll let you know if I come across anything odd.
Also, do we have any other people here who are like guards, or were we guardless before Braddock?
You already had guards, but they got fired because they let the pies and the ore pranksters in quite a few times, and so basically
Did they get
Yeah,
Sorry,
they got fired. And Braddock and a few of the other locals are replacing those guards, basically.
Okay. But that means they got fired and then they got left in that town. Did they get paid for a return trip?
They got paid for the job they did.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
But that means we have other guards here, so come on. I will take Braddock
it's-
too. He seems
like
to be very
like
astute.
nobody has told Armand, yeah, a supernatural creature that could move through the earth put those spies there, so there was no need to fire those people. So yeah, he fired those people.
I'm very
You
sorry of
wouldn't
those
even
people.
believe
If
it.
I had any money, I would send it to you. Speaking of which, do we get paid at the end of this?
Yeah. You're technically already getting paid every week. So I think
Am
Armand. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. You're technically here for a job. You are going to get. So like. Armand, you're doing this mostly so that to get your conviction lifted. But everybody is technically getting paid. Let me check in on this. You're all being paid as if you were level 1 NPCs because Armand's is pretty cheap. But let's see. Guide 20 silver coins per day. So every week you're getting 140 silver. That's going to be one gold every week. 1 gold and a half every week. Teacher instructor is 1 gold per day. That's going to be for Iskaradin. So you are getting paid like basically 7 golds a week. And mercenary is 50 silver a day. So Braddock, you are getting paid for twice as much as Armand.
How much time has it been?
We're gonna say so. It's been 2 weeks since you've come from Gretma, and before that it had been 2 weeks as well. We're gonna say a total of 4 weeks.
28 days times 23. So 5
Ooh,
gold, 60 silver.
Iskaradin's over here. Got all his money on him.
Well, books are expensive, so
Yeah.
They are expensive.
So,
But they provide me books, I hope.
so the question is, so I've been there for the 2 weeks then.
Yes.
So
So you've gotten 50 times 14. That's gonna be 700. Oh yeah, you've got 7 gold.
7 gold. Okay. So I'm not nearly as broke as I used to be. I might actually be able to buy some armor sometime.
Yeah, like you're being paid as a mercenary, and you're about to be getting a promotion because you've been doing a much better job than the previous guards in the eyes of Thomas.
And they seem to have some sort of a affinity for the thing that they're guarding too.
Yeah, yeah, and like you're also doing a better job than some of the archaeologists in identifying the statues. So you might get promoted to teacher instructor pay, which is twice as much. All right. I'm gonna put your tokens down in 1 second on this new map.
Yeah, there we go.
Right. So you head into town. The biggest of the 3 villages is so. Oh, I didn't get a name for this village. Who wants to name this this village? I think you might be muted, Armand.
I haven't said anything yet.
Okay. So
I was thinking about it.
Hmm.
Is it a village or a town?
it's a town. This one is a town. The
That
other
was looking towny.
yeah,
Oh, let's call it Bradley Town.
Bradley. Sure.
Bradley.
All right.
Is there a Bradley here?
All right. So yeah, you make your way to Bradley, and time for me to put on the music. Okay. The rain has stopped. And let's medieval town, and yeah. All right. So yeah, you're making your way in here. Immediately, you get a lot of stairs. People, it might be a town, but it's pretty isolated. People don't really know a lot of people seem to be able to spot outsiders quite immediately. Now, with your red hair and local looks, Braddock and Armand, you are looking. You would be blending in pretty okay, but Iscaradin, with his giant books and his glasses, is really standing out.
I don't have glasses.
Oh yeah,
I'm too poor for those.
you're too poor for those yet.
Poor
But yeah, you are getting some stares. You are getting a few people who are murmuring to each other, pointing at you, and a few moms that take their children on the other side of the road as you pass by. What do you do?
Do we look? Let's look at Armand. Do we look dangerous? And I look back at Braddock and says, "Never mind."
We're definitely different.
Well, I would assume I am, but you two are locals.
Well, he's just an unusually tall local who is armed.
I suppose that's true. And we're
So-
strangers in the village, at least.
Yeah, we're
And nobody
both
actually knows me.
But especially Braddock, but yeah. And we're both muscular. And we're both armed.
So we look like a couple local toughs hiring.
Hired by a nerdy scared.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
all of
scarred
his
too, so
PhD.
maybe they think I'm a wolf in sheep's clothing because I got this scar.
Prunes! Y'all want prunes?
Do you guys want prunes?
Yeah, if you can give me one.
Yeah, let's get some prunes. I'm eating prunes. In real life.
I can see the packaging said nut, so
Fruit and
oh,
okay. Nut.
never mind.
I am not lying about my prune.
It's not.
This
there's no
video
nuts,
was not
there's one nut.
sponsored by Fruits and Nuts. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Alright. You grab a bite, and like I'm not gonna make you pay for every single instance of like buying some food, but there does seem to be like a nice amount of trading going on. Although you feel like there are less you pass by a lot of the shops that currently seem to be closed. A few have a sign of "Be back soon," and stuff like this.
Do you think that they went on break because we arrived?
With my fight with the thorn creatures, did my clothes get torn up?
Yeah.
Did they get? Is there a tailor in the caravan, or do I need to go find a tailor now?
Some people know how to patch things a little bit, but it could be better. You definitely, like, if you got them patched in the by the people from the caravan, then you definitely need some new ones because after 2 weeks of traveling them with them, they're now like
Right. Well, I'm gonna go find a tailor.
right. Okay. So you are you knock on a tailor's shop, only to find that basically it's this young man with completely wild red hair opens the door and says, "Oh, the master isn't here right now. He's gone to see the matriarchs, see if they needed any new dresses. But I can take your order for you if you'd like. Yeah, I don't know you. Who are you?"
Well, I am Armand, and I'm here to acquire your services.
All right. Do you have the gold? Do you have the coin to pay?
Of course.
All right. Okay. What can I? What services can we provide for you?
I need to buy some clothes.
Right.
Why else would I come to a tailor? Would you step aside so I may come in?
Yes, right this way. I'm not supposed to finish any sales without the master here, but I can take your measurements and start working on something for you if you'd like.
Yes. I got into a rough patch of thorns. A lot of my shirts and pants got torn up, so I need a new pair.
Right.
And I should probably buy a spare set.
Right. I think we have something in the bag that could work for you. You're the traveling type, right? Leather would be better for you.
Preferably.
Yeah, you do like look the kind. So he goes back. He comes back with this like blue leather set of like boots and pants, and he's gonna like show them to you. And after that, he's going to like get a coat that has the same type of like that has red lever, and it has an emblem in the back. It's basically a hammer that's like crushing a bush of thorns. You know this is the local the McBurnix. The McBurnick clan's emblem, and you know that the McBurnicks are currently in disfavor because they're two of their their nobles tried to poison the princess. So you can see why this shirt would go for pretty cheap.
For the cloak, could you get me something less flashy?
Yes. I Master said that I should try to sell it if I got the chance, but I see you're more of a local than I thought. He's gonna grab something else.
Well, I just don't want a bright red cloak.
Ah,
Kind of paint you as the target.
fair enough. I have something. Yes. With a bit of brown and a bit of green over there. And
I could change the color. Whispering to Armand.
I don't know that. What I do now?
I can change it like the super white.
Bright yellow.
Highlighter yellow.
I do not see you anymore, Sam.
Yes.
If it's on purpose, it's fine.
Yes.
You get. You're going to be able to buy. A jacket is 2 silver, and a new pair of pants is 1 silver. So yeah, you pay 3 silver
I'll buy 2 sets, so 6 silver, and then a cloak for 5, so 11 silver.
Okay.
Oh, I'd like to haggle though. My
Uh,
charm, good looks, and great persuasion.
so yeah, like you can't convince this apprentice to sell his merchandise without the master being present. With your persuasion roll, but you won't be able to like lower the price as much, unfortunately. And. Let's see. So charming wouldn't apply in this case, would it? It's only for people who are attracted to your
No,
character's gender.
charm is a very.
It's the other one. My bad. Okay. Give me 1 second. Oh, could you roll? Actually, it's commerce to haggle.
What's that based off of?
Isn't it in the social skills?
Yeah, it's trading in the social.
Oh, it's
but
trading.
Intelligence.
Trading, yeah. Trading is the one you.
I think that's the one you're talking about.
Yes, it's called commerce in the French version. That's why I got it wrong. Okay, but your charm would bonus would apply, give you a plus 30 here. What was the Sam? The price modifiers based on the regions is in Prometheus or Gaia?
I think it's the second book of Gaia.
Oh, the second book of Gaia. Okay, I don't have it, and I don't have the time to look for it, so never mind.
I have it. It's right at the end of the book, which is like really convenient.
Yeah. Let me know if there's any. Could you pull up the price modifiers for Alberia?
Yes. Alberia. Yes.
And Armand, you can definitely persuade the kid to like take take the order to like buy some stuff right away with your persuasion, but you're gonna have to roll commerce to lower the price.
You said I got a plus 30 to the charm?
Yeah.
Evened out then.
Okay. You're not lowering the price. It's 11 silver.
Alright. Well, let's see.
Sadly, nothing on clothes.
Nothing on.
Oh wait, basic products are 10% off.
Okay.
But a silver cheaper.
Yeah. So you get it all for 10 silver.
Alright, then I will purchase it.
Okay. Can you type all of the modifiers in chat, and I'll put it up on the in the lore parts of Alberia, please.
It will take some time, but I can't.
Okay, take your time. Okay, you've purchased new things. What you do now?
What anyone else want to do?
I will happily take a look around at all of the stores and things and see if there's anything of interest to me. By the way, would one of you purchase those prunes for me? I only have gold pieces. I don't think he can break it. I don't expect there to be many things in this tiny village, but he's gonna keep an eye out, and he's gonna just kind of casually comb the area with his magical senses. Maybe there are some young individuals with the gift who don't know they have the gift here.
Yeah, go ahead and make a magic prison check. It's 1 in every how many? Who has
10,000.
10,000? Yeah, no, there's nobody here. Nobody here has the gift that you can sense. Is there anything magical? You do sense there's something vaguely magical all around you. In specifically in 20 meters apart from each other. And you are going to feel some sort of residual magic coming from the forest, as if a big spell had been cast there recently. But that's all you're getting.
That is strange. Do I get any innate magic or regeneration increase here, like I did in the other place?
No.
Okay.
The other place was like deeply charged with magic. This place is not. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna poke around, see if there's anything that might interest me.
Okay. Braddock, is there anything you're more interested in?
Well, I would be interested in seeing if there is an armorer who is able to do an order. I understand that it will take some time, so I'm kind of hesitating. How long do we think we're going to be here? How long do you normally stay in a site?
You stayed at the other place for like 5 days, but it was a much smaller site than, you know, a stone circle spanning a few miles.
Because I do not expect anybody to have something in my size.
Yeah.
Though it is, I only am looking for leather, so it's one of those.
Blah blah blah. Leather armor. Complete
Hardened
leather. Yeah. Complete leather is going to be 5 gold coins, and if you want it good quality, it's going to be 100 gold coins.
Yeah, well, I would just be the normal one,
Okay.
just to get something. So the question is how long would it take them to make it? And
Well,
that
All right.
I would be willing. Basically, I would go in and ask them, and then try to gauge if that was going to work.
That
All right.
greatly depends on the skill of the smith.
You head to the local.
I guess it would be a leather worker or whatever.
Yeah, you head to the local smith slash leather worker and find that the shop is closed at the moment. Strange, because it's the afternoon. Seems like it would be the perfect time to open up shop, but
Yeah, there is an awful lot of shops closed right now.
The boy, the tailor, did the master of the shop went to Matrix, something like that. Might be worth looking into. Seems a
Yeah.
rather odd thing to do.
I think we should.
all right.
What did they say he was going again?
Somewhere that away. Which way?
You weren't pointed in any particular direction, but you do spot uphill in the village. There's a house around which you see a few merchant carts piled around the entrance, almost like on top of one another, and with quite a few voices coming from over there.
Maybe we should check that out.
Good idea.
You
What say you, Asparagus?
Sorry. Actually, I thought of something I'd like to look for. However, I think that it might be interesting. I don't want to like make a crowd, but I suppose it might not be a bad idea to take a look. That's an odd assortment of carts on top of one another. I'd like to eventually look for silverworks around here, though.
Silverworks. Okay. That is definitely something that you can look into. You are going to find a silver worker trying to offer their wares to this person. So this is one of the local matriarchs. And she looks an awful lot like Armand's cousin, Jed Adelheid. And currently, she has like about 20 merchants all trying to sell her things, claiming that they have the best apples in the land, the best silverware in the land. And though she's not wearing like the most expensive clothes, she does seem to have a lot of coin to redistribute. And we are going to end this game on that note. Hope everybody had as much fun as I did.
I had fun.
I had a good time.
It was fun.
Alright. Hi everyone, and thank you for watching this video. If you want to keep up with all of the adventures on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you can get a notification each time we upload the next episode of this story. And it would be very nice of you to like and share the video to help this channel grow. Have a nice day, everyone.